What up, world? This your boy, DJ Sugar Bear, back in the house, on the ones and twos. And man, can you feel that energy? That's what we do here on the Drama Network. This is where new school YouTube and old school soap opera radio have a baby. And trust me, this baby's got sass. Welcome to your ultimate destination for gripping, serialized stories that dive deep into the messy, passionate, and often scandalous realities of human relationships. You're tuned into WDRA YouTube Radio, where I, KC Saga aka DJ Sugar Bear, guide you through intricate plots bursting with love, honor, and devastating betrayal. From hidden affairs to shocking revelations, our daytime operas will keep you on the edge of your seat, just like the classics you grew up with. If you crave stories where trust is broken, loyalties are tested, and every twist leaves you wanting more, you found your new obsession. And speaking of twists, you ain't seen nothing yet. Get ready, because today we're kicking off something brand new, an extension of the drama you love. We're diving headfirst into our new series, Payback Anthology, the drama opera series. Each episode of Payback Anthology brings you a complete, standalone story, packed with all the high emotional drama you expect from the Drama Network. Get ready for tales where relationships hit the rocks, hidden schemes lurk beneath the surface. And let's just say, some folks get what's coming to them. It's intense, it's unpredictable, and it's all for you. Right after this, we plunge into the next installment of Payback Anthology. Hey there, listener. Can I ask you a question? Is your partner lying about her boss? If you're not sure, then you're not going to want to miss a single second of Episode 5B, Black Coffee with Cream.
Jamal grinned, adjusting his red, white, and blue baseball cap. His brand new Air Jordan 7s, the Marvin the Martian edition with their vibrant pops of color, felt springy beneath his feet. Keisha had been secretive all week, just telling him to keep the 4th of July weekend completely free. He was excited, a delicious anticipation bubbling beneath his nervousness, eager for this special time with her. Man, Jamal thought, a familiar wave of anticipation mixed with a faint unease as he waited for Keisha. He'd always pictured their first time together as a mutual, tender exploration, happening when she felt completely ready. Lately, though, it felt different, almost like she was on a mission. He wanted this with her more than anything, but her recent insistence on moving things forward had stirred a quiet disquiet within him. It wasn't that he didn't want it, but the intensity felt sudden, almost planned. The Keisha he knew wouldn't orchestrate something like this. It would unfold organically, like waking up naturally without setting an alarm. This felt set. He couldn't quite put his finger on it, but something about this rapid shift felt off-kilter. Was she truly ready, or was something else driving this? He picked her up from her house, and even Sharon, Keisha's mom, had a knowing warm smile as they left. Keisha looked breathtaking. The flowy sundress she wore danced around her legs with each step, hinting at the beautiful curves he was beginning to know so well. Her hair cascaded in soft waves, framing a face that seemed to glow with an inner light. The Good Times 3 boat pulsed with energy, rockin' old school and new school music and laughter swirling through the air. Dinner was a blur for Jamal. His focus was entirely on Keisha. Tonight, she radiated a different kind of joy, a vibrant energy that drew him in. They moved together on the dance floor, their laughter mingling as they swayed to the music, and even their slightly off-key karaoke duet felt perfect, earning enthusiastic cheers. The drive to the hotel suite Keisha had booked felt charged with unspoken desires. The city lights glittered outside the window, mirroring the nervous excitement within him. The familiar unease about the changes since Brown's flickered briefly, the subtle distance he sometimes felt. He thought of the bracelet, a small pang of not being able to give her everything she deserved right now, the ring tucked away for August a secret promise. But tonight, that distance had vanished. Keisha's hand found his on the console, her touch sending a wave of warmth through him. Her kisses lately had held a new depth, a lingering tenderness that hinted at deeper intimacies. He remembered her direct gaze just last week, the words, "I'm ready to make our love official." His clueless question had been met with that look, the one that made his heart race. He knew, with a certainty that both thrilled and humbled him, what tonight could mean. This would be their first time together. The hotel suite was luxurious, bathed in soft, inviting light. The king-sized bed in the center of the room seemed to beckon them. They talked for what felt like hours, their voices soft, punctuated by nervous laughter and deepening gazes. Their hands intertwined, and the kisses they shared grew more intense, each touch a promise of what was to come. The air thrummed with a palpable anticipation, a shared understanding that tonight was a threshold. Finally, the words faded, replaced by a language of touch and unspoken longing. Jamal gently cupped Keisha's face, his thumbs tracing the delicate curve of her cheekbones. Her eyes, filled with a mixture of nervousness and desire, met his. He leaned in slowly, their lips meeting in a tender kiss that deepened with growing passion. He unbuttoned the tiny buttons of her sundress with painstaking care, his fingers trembling slightly. The soft fabric slipped away, revealing the delicate lace of her undergarments. Keisha, in turn, reached for his shirt, her touch hesitant at first, then growing bolder as she unfastened the buttons, revealing his chest. They moved together slowly, exploring each other's bodies with a mixture of curiosity and reverence. Each touch, each kiss, was a new discovery, a shared intimacy that deepened their connection. There were moments of shyness, of whispered reassurances, but beneath it all was a powerful current of love and desire. As they lay entwined, the city lights painted the room in a soft glow, their breathing mingling. The act of love had been tender, a culmination of their feelings for each other. They held each other close, a profound sense of connection binding them in the aftermath of their shared experience. But as Jamal drifted off to sleep beside her, a shadow flickered across Keisha's face. The secret she carried, the unsettling experiences at Brown's Deli with Mr. Brown, felt heavier than ever against the backdrop of this newfound intimacy. The beauty of the night, the depth of her connection with Jamal, was already becoming tangled with the unspoken complexities she was desperately trying to ignore. Post July 4th. Thanks again for the extra funds, Mr. Brown, Keisha said, her tone a little too sweet. Dinner, dancing, the hotel. I couldn't have afforded anything close to that for Jamal and me without your help. It really made things happen. Mr. Brown leaned against the counter, a knowing smirk playing on his lips. My pleasure, Keisha. Let's just say I considered it a strategic investment. Sometimes, a well-funded romantic getaway can be quite effective in maintaining a certain narrative, wouldn't you agree? His eyes flicked towards Keisha with a conspiratorial glint, a familiar spark that had ignited in the weeks following that unexpectedly intimate foot massage. A couple of the morning regulars, sipping their coffee at the corner booth, exchanged knowing glances. The easy camaraderie between the young employee and her older boss was a frequent topic of their quiet observations. Keisha, now more confident in their evolving dynamic, even playfully instructed Mr. Brown to wipe down a spill near the soda machine. Later that week, after Keisha's routine shoulder massage at the end of her shift, a casual touch that had become commonplace since that day his hands lingered a little too long on her foot, Mr. Brown, shirtless as he searched to put on his shirt, presented her with a small, elegant bag. A little welcome back gift, he said with a conspiratorial wink. Keisha's breath caught as she recognized the embossed lettering on the bag. Pandora's. Her fingers trembled slightly as she carefully pulled out the velvet jewelry box. Nestled inside, against a plush lining, was the delicate silver bracelet she had pointed out weeks ago, its designer charm gleaming softly. She knew its approximate value, a significant $400. A delighted squeal escaped her lips. Before Mr. Brown could get his shirt on, she jumped into his arms, wrapping her arms around his neck and her legs around his waist. He caught her, his hands cupping her buttocks, holding her up. Their lips met, a spontaneous kiss that held a spark of the secret intimacy that had been subtly building since that unexpected foot massage. Tongues touched, a brief but undeniable moment of shared desire in the quiet back room. The shock wasn't in the simple act of him holding her. A certain physical comfort had developed over the past month. The jolt came from the blatant inappropriateness of the kiss itself, the possessive way her legs locked around his waist, his hands firmly on her bottom, and the undeniable intimacy of their tongues meeting in the back room of the store. The sudden awareness that the backroom door was slightly ajar amplified the indiscretion. Old Mrs. Gable, a regular who always came in for her evening lottery ticket, stood in the doorway, her eyes wide with undisguised surprise at the sight of Keisha's legs wrapped around Mr. Brown's waist, his hands holding her up by her bottom as they engaged in a tongue kiss. Mr. Brown, clearly mortified at being caught in such a compromising position, abruptly dropped her. Keisha and Mr. Brown quickly stepped apart, their faces flushing, and launched into a hurried, overly casual conversation about inventory. September 10, 2018. The restaurant's soft lighting cast a romantic glow over our table, a setting Keisha had always dreamed of for her 21st birthday. Jamal looked handsome, a nervous energy radiating from him. He'd been acting a little preoccupied lately, a quiet intensity one couldn't quite decipher. The waiter brought dessert, a slice of decadent chocolate cake adorned with a single flickering candle. As Keisha blew it out, I reached across the table, my hands covering hers. "Keisha," I began, my voice thick with emotion. "You know you're my everything, right? My best friend, my girl." I reached into my pocket and produced a small velvet box. Keisha's heart leaped. This was it. I opened the box, revealing a sparkling diamond ring. "Keisha Johnson," I said, my eyes filled with a love that made her breath catch. "Will you do me the honor of becoming my wife?" Tears welled in Keisha's eyes. "Oh, Jamal," she choked out, nodding emphatically. "Yes. 1,000 times yes." A wave of relief washed over my face as I smiled, my eyes shining. I took her left hand, the smooth silver of the bracelet cool beneath my touch. As I slid the engagement ring onto her finger, my eyes kept returning to the other piece of jewelry. That charm. I recognized it. It was the same delicate silver bracelet she'd pointed out at photos a few weeks ago, the one I couldn't afford at the time. A pang of guilt, quickly followed by a sharp flicker of confusion, shot through me. She really wanted that bracelet. So how? A seed of unease began to sprout. I looked up at Keisha, my initial joy slightly clouded by this unexpected and unsettling observation. "That bracelet. It's really beautiful. I remember you liked it at photos. Where did you end up getting it?" The joy in Keisha's eyes dimmed, replaced by a sudden wave of apprehension. "This," she said, her fingers instinctively touching the bracelet. "Oh, a friend gave it to me." My gaze sharpened, my hand tightening around hers. "A friend? Which friend?" Keisha hesitated for a split second, her mind racing. "It was a birthday present. From Mr. Brown." A muscle clenched in my jaw. My eyes narrowed, searching hers. I can't believe this, Keisha. What the hell is going on here? Have you been sleeping with him?" The question hung in the air, heavy with suspicion and hurt. "No." Keisha's voice rose defensively. "And I am furious that you would even ask me that. Then why is he buying you expensive jewelry like this?" My voice was strained, my gaze unwavering. Keisha's defensiveness turned to a sharp retort. "He paid for our holiday weekend too, Jamal. You weren't complaining about the boat ride, the fireworks, dinner, or the fancy hotel room, all courtesy of Mr. Brown." Disbelief washed over my face. "What? I thought you paid for all of that." I stared at the ring on Keisha's finger, then back at the expensive bracelet on her wrist, the pieces of a disturbing puzzle clicking into place. My voice was suddenly cold, all the earlier tenderness gone. "Give me my ring." I extended my hand, palm up. Tears streamed down Keisha's face, a mixture of anger, shame, and regret. With a trembling hand, she yanked the ring from her finger and dropped it into my outstretched palm. "I'm leaving," I said, my voice flat and final. "I'll call you an Uber." I stood up, my gaze lingering on Keisha for a brief, agonizing moment, a look of profound disappointment etched on my face, before I turned and walked away. The romantic ambience of the restaurant suddenly felt suffocating and cold. September 24, 2018. The late August sun filtered through the blinds of Keisha's bedroom, casting striped shadows across the floral wallpaper. 2 weeks had crawled by since her disastrous 21st birthday dinner. The silence from Jamal was a heavy weight, pressing down on her with each passing hour. She sat on the edge of her bed, a half-finished attempt at styling her hair abandoned on her lap. The curling iron lay dormant on her dresser. A soft knock echoed through the door. "Sharon, hey baby," Sharon said softly, perched on the edge of Keisha's desk chair. "So, have you and Jamal made up yet?" Keisha Keisha sighed, running a hand through her tangled strands. No, Mom, we haven't. He has not returned my calls. Her voice cracked slightly. But Mom, I love him. I really do. And I want to marry him. Sharon's brow furrowed. Honey, in my experience, men can be possessive. And if he's not bothered, well, it makes you wonder. Keisha. Tears welled in Keisha's eyes again. Then, how do I get him back, Mom? What can I do? Sharon reached out and took Keisha's hand, her touch firm but comforting. Be patient, baby. Time has a way of softening things, sometimes. And when you finally get your chance to talk to him, don't talk so much. Listen. Really listen and try to understand his pain. His feelings are valid. Keisha. What you young lady have to understand is, men understand men. They know why men do what they do. Keisha. Mom, it was just an innocent present, Keisha insisted, her voice pleading. Sharon's gaze was steady. Keisha, if you want to mend your relationship, the first thing you have to do is be honest with yourself, and your man Jamal ain't no fool. You know damn well your boss or any man giving you a $400 bracelet is not innocent. You know it, Jamal knows it, and Mr. Brown knows it. Keisha, thinking. Okay, maybe not totally innocent. Sharon, and while we're speaking of your boss, why haven't you been to work? Keisha's shoulders slumped. I went to work the other day. Mrs. Brown came in. She told Mr. Brown he had to fire me. Sharon's eyes widened. Why, Keisha? Why would she do that? Keisha's voice was barely a whisper. She found out about the kiss. And the bracelet. Sharon's voice rose sharply. Kiss? Kiss. What kiss? What kind of kiss, Keisha? What the hell is going on? Keisha's face flushed with embarrassment. When he gave me the bracelet, I was so happy, Mom. I jumped on him, wrapped my arms around his neck, my legs around his waist. He held me up, his hands were under my dress, on my bottom, and my tongue was exploring the depths of his mouth. Mrs. Gable walked in after we had been kissing for about 20 seconds, and he dropped me on the floor. Sharon stood up abruptly, her expression a mixture of shock and concern. Okay, you and I are leaving the house. Right now. We're going to have lunch, and you are going to fill me in on everything. And you better be honest with me, Keisha Johnson. Maybe I can dig you out of this mess. Your father can't hear any of this. The clinking of silverware and the low hum of lunchtime chatter filled the cozy booth at Rosie's Diner. Across the small table, Sharon's gaze was a steady weight on Keisha, an unspoken demand for the truth. Keisha stared down at the scattered pile of golden fries on her plate, her usual comfort food now tasting like ash in her mouth. Her appetite had vanished the moment the words began to form in her throat. Sharon finally broke the silence, her voice surprisingly level. So, she began, each word measured. Start from the beginning. Why were you and Mr. Brown staying so late after work? Keisha took a shaky breath, the diner's comforting aroma suddenly suffocating. Her eyes, filled with shame and desperation, met her mother's. Mom, there's something you have to know. Mr. Brown got me pregnant. In June. Sharon's breath hitched. Her face was ashen. My God, she whispered, the words barely audible. Keisha's voice was choked with fear, barely a whisper. And oh, Mom, please. Jamal can't know. He can't know any of this. If he ever finds out, I'm scared of what might happen. Jamal will try to kill that man. She took a shuddering breath. So Mom, me and Mr. Brown came up with a plan to keep anybody from finding out. That's why Mr. Brown paid for July 4th weekend and the hotel. Sharon's eyes narrowed, a flicker of understanding mixed with disbelief. That's why Jamal's so mad. You told Jamal that Mr. Brown paid for the weekend getaway. Keisha nodded miserably. Yes, it was out of spite, trying to shut him up about my bracelet. We had been together a few times, and we are very comfortable. Too comfortable around each other. So when he gave me the bracelet, we forgot the door was open. Mrs. Gable saw the kiss, me up on him with his hands under my skirt, on my bottom. She told Mrs. Brown, and Mrs. Brown took the bracelet and fired me. I have to avoid going in the store with Jamal, but that's easy, he won't go in there. Sharon's brow furrowed. That still doesn't explain why he paid for the romantic weekend. Keisha's voice rose in desperation. Mom, use your brain. Okay, we had to set Jamal up. Sharon's eyes widened. Set him up. Keisha nodded frantically. Okay, you know Jamal was thinking I was still a virgin. So, we planned the romantic weekend. The sexy ambience of the hotel room. To give me a reason to not seem like I was rushed, to make it seem more organic, you know? Me wanting to have sex with Jamal. And it worked. We had sex. Sharon stared blankly. Call me slow. I don't get it. Keisha's voice dropped to a strained whisper. Mom, since Jamal thinks I'm a virgin, he will think he got me pregnant then. So, Mr. Brown and I won't have to tell anyone that we did what we did. Sharon's breath hitched. Her face was ashen. My God, my daughter is evil. Tears streamed down Keisha's face. Mom, please. This can't get out. Sharon looked at her daughter, a complex mix of horror and a desperate kind of love in her eyes. Okay, she whispered, her voice barely audible. Okay, I promise. A heavy silence descended between them.
Wow, what an episode, listeners! Jamal's heartfelt proposal to Keisha took a dramatic turn, uncovering a web of secrets that shattered their romantic evening. We saw the true cost of those innocent presents from Mr. Brown, leading to a heartbreaking breakup and the devastating revelation of Keisha's pregnancy. And the biggest shocker? The chilling plan to set Jamal up as the father. It's a complicated mess, to say the least. What do you think will happen next for Keisha and Jamal? And how long can Keisha's secret truly stay buried? We'll dive deeper into these questions and more in our next episode of Black Coffee with Cream. You can find the next episode at WDRA Drama Radio on YouTube, or click the video at the end of this one, titled, Is Your Partner Lying About Her Boss? Episode 5C Black Coffee with Cream and Sugar.